A very good evening to you on this last Friday of the month of September. Today I get to bring you the news as our anchor Ondiro Oganga gets a very much deserved break. I am Karari John Wambugu. As you know, we are all about business. Here's a glance of all news making headlines in the business world. Business intuitive expanding beyond borders, venturing beyond the home front. Institute of Directors Corporate Governance Conference, impunity bleeding the country. PG Bison product launch 2018, it's time for an upgrade. In Kenya, employment opportunities are limited compared to the enormous numbers of job seekers. Brighter Monday, which is Kenya's biggest job-seeking website, came about to try and bridge that gap by connecting job seekers to employment opportunities. The platform has gone a step further and now holds HR forums as capacity-building opportunities for human resource practitioners. Today, I attended the 6th edition, which focused on employee reward, and here is a report. BrighterMonday.com, which was founded in Kenya in 2006, today held its 6th HR and Leadership Forum at Sarova, Stanley, exploring issues around recognizing and rewarding employees the right way in order to increase productivity in the workplace.
And our hope is that you're going to take it out from that.
Chief Executive Officer, Brighter Monday, Emmanuel Mutuma, while addressing the attendees when opening the forum, enumerated how the theme came to be.
The topic of discussion today was actually because we did a survey which we released earlier this year that was called the best 100 companies to work for. And from this survey, we asked generally employed professionals which companies they would like to work to and the reasons why. It was a shocker to us because only 27% of the respondents of this survey actually said they are happy and they are not looking to move from their current workspace, which is a bit worrying, especially if you're an employer or an HR practitioner managing such people. So this means that employed professionals, most of them are not engaged. And it's for that reason we need to dive deeper into this to see how we can increase productivity in the workspace.
The Acting Commissioner of Labour, Ministry of Labour and Social Protection, Isaiah Kirego, pointed out that when employees are recognized and rewarded, there is increased productivity in the workplace.
When they are rewarded properly, of course this boosts their morale. Their morale is boosted. And an employee who has got a high morale, also, this can also be tied to productivity. It raises his or her productivity. So the end of the enterprise, the owner of the enterprise also gains more through the increased productivity.
The cost of living has gone up. The Acting Commissioner, however, sent a caveat to employees, pointing out that in order for them to get rewarded, they have an obligation to deliver on their duties.
And of course, even the worker has got an obligation, because you are not just getting money for nothing. You are getting money because you have worked for it. So you have an obligation to work, and the employer has an obligation to pay you. So one cannot just sit back and expect to be paid and is not working. So if, for instance, he absconds duty, he should not expect that he should be paid for work that he has not performed. So, whereas an employee can say that they have their rights, yes, they have their rights, but also they've got their obligations. Employers also have got their rights and they have their obligations. So, if both parties keep their part of the bargain, then we'll have a very peaceful atmosphere, very peaceful working environment, and we always encourage that.
For any economy to attain its objective, the workforce must not only have the required skill set, but must also be motivated to deliver at their optimum.
British American Tobacco, Kenya.
To this end, organizations must spare no efforts in ensuring that their human resources are recognized and rewarded to increase productivity. Reporting for BrandPlus TV, I am Karari John Wambugu. The importance of cross-border trade cannot be downplayed. However, small and medium enterprises lack the capacity to exploit the opportunities it presents. It is for this reason that the Kenya Chambers of Commerce and Industry Nairobi chapter has brought together SMEs through its Business Intuitive Forum to explore the theme Expanding Beyond Borders. Our reporter Daisy Wambua was present at the forum and has more details.
From a payment perspective,
Speaking while addressing the business owners, Richard Ngacha, the chairman of the Kenya National Chambers of Commerce and Industry, stated that there are numerous opportunities for SMEs to explore only if they took advantage of the available technologies.
In the last few years, we have seen subdued global growth and witnessed several structural and political shifts in various parts of the world. At the same time, rapid technological changes and tighter domestic constraints are reshaping our economic environment and redefining the playing field of our local companies.
He continued to urge the enterprises to adopt differentiated growth strategies, build up strong business capabilities, and even utilize the extensive international networks if they want to grow.
To adapt and compete effectively in today's globalized economy, enterprises must adopt differentiated growth strategies. They must build up strong business capabilities and extensive international networks in order to seize growth opportunities.
He went on to emphasize that the mandate of the Kenya National Chambers of Commerce and Industry is to create an international economy for the country.
As Nairobi Chamber, we strive to encourage and increase entrepreneurs. You, our entrepreneurs, are both born and made by circumstances. So we can and must change our circumstances and encourage more Kenyans to emerge as entrepreneurs. We want to enhance Kenya's competitiveness through capability building and internationalization. We need to create an international economy for Kenya.
David Sikolia, the manager at County Export Support Services, painted a picture of the reality that the export business in Kenya, saying that the country's exporting history is unimpressive and has continued to grow smaller as the number of consumers exceed that of producers.
And the situation is not improving. The situation is worsening. Worsening in the sense that in as much as we are exploring ways and means of identifying opportunities in the international market for our producers to export and service these markets, our supply base is continuously shrinking. When our supply base shrinks, it means as a country we are actually consuming more and producing less. And that is a danger.
He further noted that the Export Promotion Council is being faced with challenges that have seen the collapse of various industries in the country.
And the challenges we are facing today in as far as unemployment is concerned, and as far as the poverty levels are concerned, relatively focuses and points actually on our capacity to produce, to sustain ourselves, and also export the surplus in order to earn foreign exchange from the foreign markets.
However, even in light of this seemingly bleak outlook, he urged the chamber to continue sensitizing people on the benefits of export trade, which are numerous.
And this is something that needs a lot of effort and support. And I'll urge actually our Chamber of Commerce partners, let us do more on the ground in terms of sensitizing our people on what exactly they stand to gain from export trade through actually increasing their productivity and focusing on those products that have the potential for export in the international market. Opportunities are there, but our focus mostly is on the challenges more than the opportunities, and as a result, we resort to doing things that require shortcuts, which end up actually harming us.
Past, it's good
While the SME survey report they released shows that the total number of persons engaged in the sector was approximately 14.9 million, accounting to 81.1% of employment, more needs to be done to ensure their success, and any effort in capacity building directed at the sector is well worth every expense. For BrandPlus TV Business News, I am Daisy Wambua.
Corruption is an endemic problem in Kenya. In fact, it has risen to catastrophic levels, such as the renewed efforts by the government to fight the vice are seen too little, too late. However, the fight must go on, and this formed the core of Dr. PLO Lumumba's address on the second day of Institute of Directors Corporate Governance Conference. Our reporter Elsa Atieno, who was present at the event, has more details.
Economies that are afflicted by high levels of corruption are not capable of prospering as fully as those with low levels of such impunity. As the Institute of Directors Corporate Governance Conference came to a close, the former director of the Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission, Dr. PLO Lumumba, was at hand to address the forum. PLO said that if we are going to ensure that corruption does not steal the glory of the region, then we must come up with pieces of legislation that are sound at the regional level.
To ensure that corruption does not have a pride of place in the conduct of our affairs in East Africa. Number one, I believe that in the East African region we need a set of pieces of legislation that are good and sound at the regional level.
He went on to add that the East African states need to take certain steps in order to win the fight against corruption.
We should, in the East African region, harmonize our laws in the fight against corruption. We ought to consider common training in the East African region in order to ensure that the officer in Tanzania and in Uganda and in Rwanda are reading from the same page. There ought to be a common understanding of the visions that we have adopted for ourselves in the region, so that while we are alive to the specificities of our own country, we have a larger vision of the country.
Laikipia County Governor Honorable Ndiritu Muriithi was also present at the conference and emphasized the role of the citizenry in the fight against corruption.
Who pretend like they are above the law. I think as citizens, we should frown on people who flaunt around wealth and it is not clear where they have gotten it from. I'm very clear in my mind that we as citizens should make, there really ought to be a censor or a reputational risk around corruption. But it doesn't seem that way in Kenya and certainly in East Africa. If somebody has whatever wealth and you don't know really where this person has gotten the wealth, then that's the person who is the best friend of the bishop. And that's the person who we start calling Mheshimiwa. And that's the person who we probably vote to be governor or MP. So I think from an ethical point of view, we as citizens should change something there and make it such that there's a price to pay for being corrupt.
Studies show a direct link between the level of corruption in a country and the competitiveness of its business environment. There is therefore need to take quick and decisive steps in fighting the wickedness if we are to attain national, regional, and global development goals. For BrandPlus TV Business News, I am Elsa Atieno.
PG Bison last night launched an array of home products in partnership with Blum. The event saw partners showcase a wide range of up-to-date home equipment to those in attendance. The home equipment is all meant to make life easier on the home front.
Here we're showcasing what your good, better, best scenario goes like. Over the years, kitchens have evolved, they've changed. Traditionally, we used to have a drawer and a door system. When you open a cupboard door, it comes in your way. You can knock your head. When you open it here, you've got to bend down and get in. For people who are older with arthritis, economically, very unfriendly. You have the next, same thing here. When you move on progressively, you move to drawers. Much easier to pick things, much easier to get things, much more ergonomically friendly. But your best scenario is when you have a system that moves up and over and away from your head, so it never interferes, you don't hit yourself, and you can easily get your things within reach, and easy to shut with our patented servo drive system. And when you want to access items from your drawers, with your foot, kick it, pick it, put it back, very easy. Everything, your hands are full, kick it with your knee, put your product in, shut it. Easy. Kitchens made by Bison.
Speaking at the event, the Managing Director, PG Bison, Hitesh Medirata, attributed the success the organization so far to the various partnerships the business has entered into, noting that there are numerous benefits to both businesses and consumers, where there is more business-to-business collaborations.
We've collaborated here today with two companies. One is PG Bison South Africa and the other one is Bloom. PG Bison South Africa is a joint venture with PG Bison Kenya, and our company in Kenya is owned jointly by PG Bison South Africa and Kenyan nationals. They provide a manufacturing expertise in respect of providing raw materials of exceptional quality. Secondly, the most important thing that they also do today is they make sure that those raw materials that they provide us, the timber-based raw materials, are 100% environmentally friendly, coming from sustainable sources. So what that means for us is that whatever we produce in Kenya, when we add value, is 100% environmentally friendly from a furniture point of view. Customers are very conscious about that today. To create furniture, you need the best in terms of mobility, in terms of fittings. Bloom is world-renowned, and they produce an exceptional quality of furniture fittings. And we partnered with them in 2013, and we started to bring in their hardware into Kenya. What we do is we combine the raw materials and the hardware to create furniture cabinets. And furniture cabinets go into kitchens, into wardrobes, into entertainment units, vanities. And when you actually come through the displays and you come and open and close the drawers and you feel the motion and the mobility, you'll understand that it's very important to work with partners who provide such quality. They're very reliable from that aspect, and they're very quality conscious. And that's probably one of the most reasons that we work with them. Yeah. The economic benefit at the end of the day is what we are able to then produce locally for the end user in Kenya. One can easily make furniture or import finished furniture. A lot of finished furniture is imported from China. But what is the reputation of that furniture that comes in? You know, everyone knows that it's probably substandard to some level. It doesn't last long. When you bring together the best of raw materials from all around the world, and then you produce something locally in Kenya, you can create a wonderful, great product. It's this collaboration that you can bring, because in Kenya we don't produce everything. But at the end of the day, we still try and find to what level can we add the value here in Kenya. It would be easy to want to say, go and import a ready-made kitchen. But we take a lot of time and effort to put up a factory, invest in machinery, employ the members of staff to say, let's do that aspect here in Kenya.
It is this partnership spirit that inspires the business to have an all-inclusive policy. According to Dipan Medirata, Sales and Marketing Director, an all-inclusive system ensures all sectors grow simultaneously, hence seamless cohesion.
So we manufacture components as PG Bison. You may come into our factory and tell us what to cut with your item of furniture in mind. You'll have an installer who will guide you through that process. Once we've produced and packaged everything like this in a flat pack manner, it will be taken away and installed on your site by an independent person we've enabled over the last 16 years, over about 100 trained installers who's running their own businesses, standing on their own 2 feet today, empowered, no longer in employment, who are out there, who are our brand ambassadors and our channel to market. They go out there and do everything. So that is our model. We stop at our gate and allow the front end of the business to be run by either informal sector or the formal sector, be it a company who's running multiple projects. We enable all spectrum of SMEs to independents to run that.
With the constant calls for eco-friendly products, Nishit Medirata, Operations Director, cited that PG Bison has done exactly that by building a sustainable ecosystem.
Well, basically our products, which are wood-based panels, and they're made from particle board is made from eucalyptus and pine and from forestry products. Now what's really important that is we do this on a sustainable basis. What's really important is that we can continue to grow plantations and it's renewable, and that gives us the sustainability for the long term. So what we do is we have a document here just to give to you that and our customers to prove that we have a forest system in South Africa. We're certified by the Forestry Stewardship Council on how we manage best practices and allow customers who are environmentally conscious to be aware of the fact that when they are using PG Bison boards or PG Bison panels, they are getting a product that really suits that sustainability promise that we're making. And also comes with a great quality assurance as well.
Nishit further added that the business runs on a Buy Kenya, Build Kenya model. This, he says, is important in building the manufacturing sector in the country and for job creation.
When we bring that imported product from South Africa and these wood-based panels into PG Bison in Kenya, which is a joint venture with PG Bison South Africa, we then add value to those boards here, and we make furniture parts, furniture components, and ready-to-assemble cabinets for the kitchen, wardrobe, office furniture industry. And those are the made in Kenya, build Kenya products that we're talking about. We produce them up to a point where then carpenters, installers, contractors, etc. can go up the value chain, and we've encouraged a lot of SMEs who can then take the product forward into the end customer, into homes, into property developments, etc. So we don't really install or do any of the fabrication. We make up the product up to a point in time. And so in our whole model of also building Kenya, we're really working on building SMEs that can take this product further up the value chain and encourage them to also grow as we grow.
This is to hoping that PG Bison's efforts towards easing life through world-class products, ensuring they are sustainable as well as contributing to the manufacturing sector, will continue to succeed, and with it, economic growth.
Now let's take a look at the day's market performance. Here is a summary. That is how the market performed today. But for a more in-depth analysis of the same, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. for my next big bet with Rachel Derito and Karanja Daniel. Now, let's take a look at the day's weather report. Thank you for staying with us. We shall see you back here on Monday. But until then, do enjoy your weekend.